Welcome to the first episode of our new series, Landmarks Discovered. Through this series, we will explore the work of Palm Beach architects and how they have shaped the character of the town.
So around 4 years ago, we decided to do a master architecture series, and I was exploring in the archives and I came across our collection of Belford Shoumate. And it hadn't really been researched too much about what was in our archival collection. And I came across his beautiful pastel drawings of the houses that he did. And he was really known for his Art Deco work. He graduated from the University of Pennsylvania, and he studied with Philip Crett and Joseph Urban in New York City. And then he moved to South Florida in 1934 and took a job with Shoemate and Southwell in Miami Beach for about a year or so. And that's really where he kind of developed this Art Deco influence that you see in 1221 North Lake Way.
The building permit was issued in May of 1937. And what's interesting about it is that although the design is by Belford Shoumate and he signed the plans, he actually did the work under the architectural firm of Philip Clark and Edgar S. Wortman. At the time that 1221 North Lake Way was built in 1937, it really was considered avant-garde in the way that it resembled a ship and was just such a departure from the prevailing Mediterranean revival style that populated most of the island. When we realized that we should focus on Belford Shoumate as the first two episodes, the first person that immediately came to my mind as an expert that we should invite to speak on the two properties that we featured was Sharon Koskoff. She was really influential in documenting the Art Deco structures in Palm Beach County, and we knew we had to invite her to speak on these properties.
Arts Decoratif, Art Deco. So as I said, in 1968, we just look back and we call everything Art Deco from 1925 at the International Exposition to 1939 for World War II, when all the factories produced items for the war. You'll see flat roofs. You won't see the triangular A-frame. You'll always see a flat roof. You'll see stepping down. You'll see tall buildings. How can they be the same as Florida, right? Florida is flat buildings because we had more land. So our buildings are flat and horizontal, whereas in places like New York, you'll see Art Deco that's vertical. The Art Deco in New York would be, say, 1925, 1930s. Our buildings here started like more 1935, 1937, 1939. So we passed all this decoration and we became more streamlined. We'll see rounded corners. That's a telltale sign of Art Deco architecture. You'll see glass block. Why? Because it makes sense. We don't want to let the sun in, and heat our homes. You'll see something so interesting. It's called an eyebrow. It's a flat linear plane, a shelf, an eyebrow above a window. Again, it makes sense in Florida because it'll keep the sun out. On interior shots of homes, we'll see terrazzo.
1221 North Lake Way was designed for Mr. and Mrs. C.M. Stetcher. They were cattle owners. They bred cattle and also owned a citrus cooperative in Florida. Ada Stetcher was also the headmistress of a school for girls that was here in Palm Beach and originally located on Coconut Row.
So the history of the house had almost this mythological background, and a lot of it seemed to be perpetuated by Belford Shoumate himself. And it took a lot of time to figure out fact from fiction. There was this rumor going around that it was submitted to the 1939 World Fair as a house of the future. And of course, the actual house wasn't submitted. It was just the plans that were submitted, and it won an award for being the house of the future. After doing much research, this could neither be confirmed nor denied, but this myth kind of perpetuated throughout this house's history. And it is in all of the newspaper articles, it is in the designation report, and there really isn't evidence that it was submitted to the World's Fair.
And I think it also relates to just the whimsical nature of Palm Beach itself. All of these homes that were designed, or many of them, were about escapism.
Exactly. I mean, they really enjoyed this idea of coming down and recreating your own world in the way you wanted to. I mean, Shoemate built this house to look like a ship, and Meisner rebuilt parts of Europe so people could come and escape. So they really played at this idea of escapism.
The 1221 North Lake Way house, he built it as a ship because everyone was flying and traveling and going by boat. Everything became fast. When you enter the house, you have a compass in the terrazzo floor at the doorway. Not only does he have the 3 circles, but he has a triangle and 2 circles. What does that mean? Well, it's a design. No, it was for the V8 engine. Wow, the speed, people getting cars, people are traveling. Things really started to become global in this modern time. In the kitchen, you step up to get out of the galley and then step down to go back into the living room space, just like you would in a ship where you separate rooms to in case there was flooding on a boat. The bathrooms have this wonderful, colorful tile. Belford Shoumate was known for the tile. The upper bathroom on the 2nd floor was yellow and black. Very, very graphic tile, shiny tile with round mirrors, always round mirrors. And there's a round window.
In 1986, 1221 North Lake Way was designated as a local landmark for the town of Palm Beach, which is really emblematic because this is an Art Deco property. It was designated within the first 10 years of the landmark program being implemented. And it just showcases how important this home is to the town of Palm Beach.
In the 21st century, why do we really care about Art Deco? Because we are living in the fastest society today with the machine age. It's called the digital age. Things move so fast, we turn off our cell phones, we're digitizing, we're on camera, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. Bing, if something happens, everybody knows about it instantly. We are so enamored by speed. And the Art Deco era was all about speed. So we can relate to this time. You know, can we relate to the Victorian days where everybody buttoned up and sheltered their body? And no, we don't relate to that era. We can relate to a very fast lifestyle that we all live in today.
Make sure to join us for our next episode of Landmarks Discovered. We'll continue our exploration of Belford Shoumate's career and his progression as an architect in the town of Palm Beach.